How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from 2 nights ago, which was May 20th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was the House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews versus Fuego del Sol and the Dark Order, which are Evil Uno and 10. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the House of Black went over cause Brody King pinned Evil Uno with the Gonzo Bomb. Now, after the match, as the House of Black were celebrating their victory, the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Penta Oscuro, Ray Phoenix, and Alex Abrahantes, came out and stared down the House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. And after the stare down happened, Pac, Ray Phoenix, and Ray Phoenix, and Alex Abrahantes went backstage, and Penta Oscuro revealed a tombstone that said, "The House of Black, Double or Nothing." And Penta Oscuro done his signature Cerro Miedo gesture and everything, while the House of Black was looking on and everything. That was cool. No, that was after the match, by the way. Match 2, it was Shawn Spears versus Big Damo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Shawn Spears went over with the C4. Now, after the match, Shawn Spears got on the microphone and cut a promo, and Shawn Spears was talking about how he was Wardlow's kryptonite and how Wardlow was Superman, and how Wardlow wasn't going to be facing Shawn Spears in a steel cage match on AEW Dynamite's 3-year anniversary show. No. Shawn Spears was talking about how Wardlow was going to be in a steel cage against the giant killer, Shawn Spears. And Shawn Spears was talking about how he was going to destroy Wardlow and kick his ass and in the steel cage match and everything as well. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was Chris Statlander versus Red Velvet in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament semifinal match in the women's division. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Chris Statlander went over and advanced in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament in the women's division with a roll-up. Now, after the match, Kiera Hogan came into the ring and attacked Chris Statlander from behind and started beating the shit out of her, and Red Velvet joined in on beating the shit out of Chris Statlander, so pretty much Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan ganged up on Chris Statlander and was beating the shit out of her, and as that was going on, Ruby Soho came down to the ring and attacked Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet and started beating the shit out of them. And Jade Cargill came into the ring, and Jade Cargill grabbed Ruby Soho and threw her down. Jade Cargill grabbed Ruby Soho by the hair and threw her down on the mat in the ring and laid her out, and Jade Cargill got Chris Statlander up, and Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan, along with Jade Cargill, were getting ready to attack, getting ready to gang up on Chris Statlander. But before that could happen, Anna Jay came out, and while Mark Sterling was on the ring apron, was on the stage, Anna Jay snatched Mark Sterling's crutch from him. And Anna Jay ran into the ring and was getting ready to attack the baddies, which are Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan. But the baddies, which are Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan, retreated. And so Anna Jay stood tall in the ring and stared down the baddies, which are Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan, and everything. And the baddies stared back at Anna Jay. And Mark Sterling was looking on and everything, while Ruby Soho and Chris Statlander were laid out and everything. And Anna Jay tended to Ruby Soho and Chris Statlander and everything as well. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. And match 4, that was match 3, by the way. And match 4, which was the main event, it was the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley versus Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Blackpool Combat Club went over cause Jon Moxley pinned Dante Martin with the paradigm shift. Now after the match, as the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, celebrated their victory and were getting ready to go backstage, the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, all came out and ganged up on the Blackpool Combat Club, and a brawl ensued, and the Jericho Appreciation Society had the numbers advantage, and then Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, came out and to the aid of the Blackpool Combat Club. So a brawl between the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, and Eddie Kingston, Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, ensued, and everything. That was cool. And that was after the match, by the way. Now, besides the matches, Lexi Nair interviewed Max Caster and the Gunn Club, which are Billy, Colton, and Austin Gunn, and Lexi Nair brought up that Anthony Bowens got injured after AEW Dark Elevation Monday night and everything, and then Lexi Nair asked the Gun Club and Max Caster what their plans were going forward. So, Colton said, "Yeah, Father, what's the plan?" Colton Gunn said, "Yeah, Father, what's the plan?" Austin Gunn said, "Yeah, Dad, what's the plan?" And Max Caster said, "Yes, Daddy, what's next for us?" And Billy Gunn said to Max Caster, Billy Gunn said, "Son, factions are going to have adversities, but we have to push through them. So, with that being said, Anthony Bowens, when you come back from your injury and you're fully healed and recovered, we're all gonna have a scissor party for you. And so Max Caster and the Gun Club, which are Billy, Colton, and Austin Gunn, done the scissor gesture and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, and Tony Schiavone brought up that Roppongi Vice, which are Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, issued a challenge to FTR on AEW Dynamite Wednesday night for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. Well, Cash Wheeler said, "Yeah, that's right, Tony. Roppongi Vice did issue an open challenge to us. And yes, we are fighting champions. We are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. We are the AAA Tag Team Champions. Next, we want the AEW Tag Team titles back, and we also want the IWGP Tag Team titles as well." And that was Cash Wheeler that said that, by the way. And Dax Harwood said, "You know, Roppongi Vice, I know you two like to make a mockery out of the business of professional wrestling. But when it comes to me, you're not going to make a mockery out of the business, because the business of professional wrestling is something that I love. And Cash and I being the AEW being the AEW Tag Team champs, this is what I live for. This is what I do to support my wife and my daughter. So Wednesday night, Roppongi Vice, you're on. Top guys out. And everything." That was cool. The Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish, cut a promo with Brandon Cutler filming, and Adam Cole was saying, "Kyle, you done really great Wednesday night. You beat Phoenix to advance in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament in the men's division. And you also took out the Icon Sting. So right now you're on fire." And Adam Cole said, "And this week you're going to face, and next week on Dynamite, on the 3-year anniversary show, you're going to face Samoa Joe, and you're going to advance in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament in the men's division. And it's going to be me versus you." And Kyle O'Reilly said, "Thank you, Adam. Yes, I did beat Phoenix. Yes, I did take out the Icon Sting. And I am going to beat Samoa Joe in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament in the men's division Wednesday night on AEW Dynamite's 3-year anniversary show. And it's going to be an honor to face you, my best friend." And Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly shook hands and everything, but while Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly were talking about taking out Sting and everything, Bobby Fish was talking about how it was dirty and everything. But after Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly done their thing, shook hands and everything, Nick Jackson said, "And that leaves it to us. Matt and Jeff, the Hardys, Matt and I, we want you both at Double or Nothing." And Matt Jackson said, "Yeah, just like Nick said, we want you both at Double or Nothing, because you Hardys were the tag teams of the late 90s, early 2000s. Us young bucks, we are the tag team of the 2010s and 2020s. So at Double or Nothing, we want you both. And everything. And and then Matt Jackson told Brandon Cutler to shut off the camera and everything. That was cool. Um, 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 AEW aired a vignette. Yeah, AEW aired a vignette of the training regimen of the teams of Hook and Danhausen and Tony Nese and Mark Sterling ahead of their match on the pre-show of All Elite Wrestling's pay-per-view event Double or Nothing and everything. That was cool. Okay. Dan Lambert and Men of the Year, which are Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, cut a promo. Well, Ethan Page was talking about how nobody messes with Men of the Year and the American Top Team, and talks about what happens when it does, because that's why the Inner Circle are no longer a group and everything. And then Ethan Page was talking about how they were going to expose Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti for the trash that they are and everything. And then Scorpio Sky was talking about how he demands Sammy Guevara to bring his AEW TNT title back, or he was going to show him what it's like to be broken, like he broke SCU and everything. And then as Scorpio Sky continued to talk, Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti appeared on the Titantron, and Sammy Guevara was saying, "Hey, Scorpio, I got something for you. I got the AEW TNT title for you. But I'm going to say this right now. Give Ty and I what we want. We want that mixed tag team match. And if you don't get it, we're going to destroy the AEW TNT title." Well, Dan Lambert got on the microphone and said, "What part of no don't you understand, moron?" Then Sammy Guevara said, "Well, since you all won't give us what we want, then I'm going to destroy something. Then I'm not going to destroy the AEW TNT title, but I have a friend that will." So Ty Conti gave Sammy Guevara a sledgehammer, and Sammy Guevara dropped the AEW TNT title and started bashing it with the sledgehammer and everything. And then Sammy Guevara said, "Also, Scorpio, I brought out an old friend. I have an old friend of yours that's willing to destroy this along with me." And then Frankie Kazarian came along, and Frankie Kazarian said, "Get on out of here, Sammy. No wonder nobody likes you and your little girlfriend. You and your little girlfriend there." So, Sammy Guevara gave Frankie Kazarian the sledgehammer, and Frankie Kazarian took the sledgehammer and started destroying the AEW TNT title some more, and then grabbed the title, picked it up, and threw it down and broke it and everything too. And while that was going on, Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti were making out and everything. And while Frankie Kazarian was destroying the AEW TNT title, Sammy Guevara, said, Dan, my girlfriend Ty Conti and I, we're going to get we're going to get our mixed tag team match, whether you like it or not, and everything. Just cool. Yeah. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker and Tony Storm. Tony Schiavone brought up that Britt Baker and Tony Storm are going to be facing off on AEW Dynamite's 3-year anniversary show in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament in the women's division and everything. And then Britt Baker said, "Did you hear that, Tony? This is going to be a big match. And I am going to destroy you, and I am going to go on to win the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament in the women's division." Tony Storm said, "Is that right, Britt? Because last I checked, you can't win a match unless you have help from your friends. Now I'm going to tell you right now, what I did to Jamie Hayter last week, I'm going to do the same to you this week and next week. So, with that being said, if there's any funny business and your friends interfere, then I am going to be your DMD. So what do you think about that?" Then Britt Baker was speechless and left, and so Tony Schiavone and Tony Storm stood there and looked on and everything. That was cool. Mark Henry interviewed the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley and Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. And Mark Henry said, "Matt Sydal and Dante Martin, you both issued a challenge to Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley of the Blackpool Combat Club. Why?" Dante Martin said, "Well, Mark, the reason Matt Sydal and I issued a challenge to the Blackpool Combat Club is because we want to fight and everything." And then Matt Sydal said, "And another reason we challenged the Blackpool Combat Club, Mark, is because we want to show the Blackpool Combat Club what true leadership is, what true mentorship is, not beating somebody up just for them to join the group and everything." And then Matt Sydal talked about how him and Dante Martin were about peace, love, and professional wrestling and everything. And then Bryan Danielson said, "You know, it's funny, Matt and Dante, because yes, I have love. Yes, I have peace. And yes, I love professional wrestling. But I also love violence. Because, for example, look what happened with Wheeler Yuta. He captured the Ring of Honor Pure title since he joined us. And since he got more violent. And Moxley and I, we're going to dish out a lot of violence to you two tonight in the main event in our match and everything." And Jon Moxley said, "You know, I heard what you just said, Matt Sydal. You said you love peace and you love professional wrestling. Well, I love professional wrestling. Bryan Danielson, he loves professional wrestling, but we both love violence. And we're going to prove that to you two tonight by kicking your asses all over this arena and everything." And then Mark Henry said his signature line, "Well, looks like there's been enough talk. it's time for the main event and everything. That was cool. And Tony Schiavone interviewed the baddies, which are Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan, along with Mark Sterling. Well, Tony Schiavone was getting ready to ask Jade Cargill a question, but Jade Cargill said, "Tony, cut the shit and get out. We don't need you." So Tony Schiavone left the ring, and Tony Schiavone left the area, and Mark Sterling told Tony Schiavone to get lost, and Jade Cargill told Mark Sterling to hold the TBS Women's title for her, so Mark Sterling held the TBS Women's title for Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill was saying, "Anna Jay, you want to come out and stick your nose into our business? Into our baddie business? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing right now, Anna Jay. Since you want to step up and get your ass kicked again, how about you face me for the TBS Women's title at Double or Nothing? Because I am that bitch, and I am going to kick your ass again, and I am going to retain my TBS Women's title and everything." That was cool. Now, besides all that, Taz, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. Ruby Soho done guest commentary along with Taz, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho during the match between Chris Statlander versus Red Velvet in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament semifinal match in the women's division. Ruby Soho done great on guest commentary, and William Regal done guest commentary along with Taz, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho during the match between the Blackpool Combat Club versus Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. William Regal done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Paul Turner refereed the match between the House of Black versus the Dark Order and Fuego del Sol. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Shawn Spears versus Big Damo. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Chris Statlander versus Red Velvet in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament semifinal match in the women's division. And Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between the Blackpool Combat Club versus Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's 3-year anniversary show. It's going to be FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Roppongi Vice, which are Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament semifinal match in the men's division. Britt Baker versus Tony Storm in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament semifinal match in the women's division. Wardlow versus Shawn Spears in a steel cage match with MJF as the special guest referee, and Swerve Strickland versus Jungle Boy versus Ricky Starks in a three-way match. Now, besides the matches that have been announced, CM Punk and Hangman Page will be having a face-to-face confrontation. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's 3-year anniversary show looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night that's been announced so far, it's going to be Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament semifinal match in the women's division. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night looks like it's going to be, so far it's been announced, looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it. And the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's pay-per-view event Double or Nothing so far, for the pre-show, it's going to be Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. That's on the pre-show. And on the main show so far, it's going to... Yeah. And on the main show so far, it's going to be... Wait, for the pre-show, it's going to be Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. That's for the pre-show. And for the main show that's been announced so far, it's going to be Hangman Page versus CM Punk for the AEW title, the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland in a three-way tag team match for the AEW tag team titles. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb for the AEW women's title. Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay for the TBS women's title. The finals of the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament in the men's division will face off. The finals for the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament in the women's division will face off. The Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy, versus the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson. And the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, versus Eddie Kingston, Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, in an Anarchy in the Arena match. So, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW... So, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's pay-per-view event Double or Nothing so far looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from 2 nights ago, which was May 20th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.